Hey everyone, my name is Michaela. For those of you who don't know me, I am one of the employees at Advantage Learn. I write a lot of the content that you see on our social medias and also the blog on our website. I've just wanted to create this video because I feel like we're all in the same position right now where you're trying to kind of set up your home space as a workspace that's super productive. So if you are a student who is kind of coming out of your holiday time, we just wanted to give you some helpful tips just for making yourself as productive as you possibly can be. So some people are going to move into a time now where your lessons from school are going to be on a live kind of platform like a Google Classroom or Zoom or something like that. This is going to be helpful for you, but it's also going to be helpful for those of you who maybe don't have access to those sorts of things and who can't have online school or your school isn't offering it. We're all kind of in different places, but we can still be productive with our time at home. So the one thing that you're definitely going to want to do is set up a workspace that's specifically dedicated to your work. As in, you don't do a whole lot of other things in that space. You definitely should not try and set up your workspace in your bed, and the reason why is because it starts to affect your sleep patterns. Your brain starts associating your bed with a place of thinking and working, or vice versa. You won't be productive because your brain has already associated this space for relaxing and sleeping and scrolling through Instagram or whatever it might be that you do in your bed usually. If you are in a position where you have to share a room with a couple of people and maybe there isn't an easy kind of dedicated desk space, that's perfectly fine. Maybe you have to use the bed, but just try and set up your workspace on your bed in a position that's completely different to what you would usually sleep in. So if you usually sleep on the one side of the bed and you have your pillows on that particular side of the bed, move your pillows to the other side of the bed and work from there. There are definitely a whole lot of ways that you can kind of work around that. So don't feel like you have to have a desk. Also, if you have a space, like I know my family, a lot of us are working at home at the moment, so we kind of have our dining room table set up with a couple of different sections where we're all working. That's fine too. Do that and keep that as your workspace and try and keep it the same, keep it consistent and that sort of thing. The next thing you're going to want to do in that space, in your dedicated workspace, is just clearing the clutter. So I'm not saying that you should use this as an excuse to procrastinate your work. I know that it's easy to start cleaning if you're a certain type of person like me. I can often just go like, oh, I'm being productive because I'm cleaning, and trick my brain into feeling like I'm being productive when I'm actually not doing the work that I need to do. I'm just saying, move the stuff off your desk space, move the stuff off your bed that you don't need, and also make sure that everything that you do need is set up in that space, ready to go, so that you're not walking around the house distracting yourself by trying to pick up little pieces. The other thing that you can do with your workspace specifically to make you feel a little bit more productive is make your desk or your dining room table or whatever it might be, make sure that when you're using these spaces, you're facing away from the rest of your room. So like right now, I'm actually sitting at my desk. My desk is pushed up against the wall and I'm not seeing everything else behind me necessarily in my room. So it often helps you to just kind of hone in your focus on what you're doing. All I can see in front of me is a shelf and a wall. And if I want to even clear that shelf, I can clear it. Make sure that you don't skip breakfast, and I am the worst when it comes to this. It's very bad, and even just doing a little bit more research into it, you can't expect your brain to be working at a certain level and you can't expect your brain to be productive if you're not feeding your brain with the right kind of stuff. If you want to read a little bit more about some of the things that I'm discussing in this video, go to our blog, I'll link it down below, and just have a read through. You'll see that we've linked to a couple of other articles that might be helpful. This idea of feeding your brain, for example, we've got an article that we have linked to that just kind of elaborates a little bit more. Get dressed. So no one's gonna see you. You could technically be in your pajamas the entire day and or change out of one pair of pajamas into the other, and no one's gonna see you get dressed, because that's one of the things that your brain is used to before you go to school or before you go somewhere where you're going to be productive. So I'm not saying that you have to dress in your school uniform, don't worry. You don't have to change into your school uniform, but I'm just saying put on something that's a little bit less comfortable than pajamas, but more comfortable than maybe clothes that you're going out. You're still at home, you don't need to go crazy with this. You can obviously go crazy with it, but there's no real need to. Okay, so this is something that I started learning from when I was still in high school. My dad actually taught it to me, and it seems to be a method that works really well for me, and that worked really well for me when I was in school. So I would work in this 45-minute time frame and then do something chilled for 15 minutes. So I would go, okay, I really feel right now like I want to scroll through Instagram. I would force myself to not do that, knowing that in the 15 minutes, I'm going to have that time to scroll through Instagram or whatever else I really wanted to do at that time. I even split up series that I was watching, like when I was really hooked on an episode, I would set my timer, watch 15 minutes, force myself to go to my bedroom and work for the 45, go back, watch the next 15 minutes of the episode. But yes, that dedicated time certainly does make a huge difference. Let me know if you've tried it and if that sort of thing works for you. The other thing that I've heard of more recently that is very similar to that is the Pomodoro technique. You're only working for 25 minutes at a time. So it kind of tricks your brain into feeling like you're spending a little bit less time kind of working, so you almost feel a little bit more responsible for that 25 minutes. Another thing that is super helpful, anyone who knows me knows that I really, really hate to exercise. I'm not an exercise person at all, but I mean, we're all sitting here at home and I've kind of picked it up, just very simple light exercising. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. If you are a super kind of exercise freak, that's great too. My sister's more like that than I am, and she's been going for it since being at home and just doing all these cool exercises at home. I've been doing lighter ones, but I've still been exercising because I feel like if you're not doing normal walking around, I mean, you don't realize how much you actually walk in a day. Just being able to go to the shops or walk down the road or whatever it might be, you do a lot more walking when you're outside the house. Sitting at home and doing no exercise is not going to help your brain at all. It's not going to make you feel productive. And yeah, I think just starting to do these exercises can really help get you into a routine. So you might decide that you're going to exercise 3 days a week or 5 days a week or 7 days a week, but you know that it's in a certain set amount of time that you're going to be doing it in the day, and it just helps kind of block out those time frames. So yes, I hope that this video has been really helpful for those of you who needed a little bit of an extra kind of push. I know that you guys can do it. You can be productive even in your home space, even though you've got your family around you and there are a lot of distractions, you can definitely still be productive in this space. So this is our first time creating a video like this, and it's certainly my first time doing something like this, so it's been quite interesting for me. But yeah, if you did find this video helpful, or you do want to see more videos like this, or there are specific videos that you feel we should be doing and creating for you, please let me know, comment down below, or send us a message on Facebook. We also have an Instagram account, you can message us there, and just tell us what you want to see. We want to create content that makes you guys happy and that is helpful for you. So if there is something specific that you want to see, please do let us know. And until next time, happy learning.